Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't know the trade we're talking about. What would be really helpful is if you post in the chat the trade like execution, like how we do this, where you've got the short or the long position, you're using that tool over here. So you've got your short position. If you use that, that would help, and you can post that in chat. Um, but yeah, it was just a breakout trade. Just went for it. That's great. I think we're gonna fill this NFP dump. It was just short term reaction. With the chat. Yeah, no, I see that. It's hard to see though. Looks like you're using relative strength index and like MACD or something. That's good. You're doing your own method of trading for the most part there, which is great. Um, yeah. So, welcome to class. Hopefully, everyone had a good weekend. I think the best thing to do is to first go over winning trades for the week. So I didn't have. I don't think I had any winning trades on Monday the 1st. I did have a long on the 2nd. This was the 16 RR. This was taken on the hell time frame I take this on. The 1 minute. All right, this guy, this sucker. No. What? Yeah, there we go. All right. So this trade, we were done by 10 a.m. And then at 10 a.m., price died out and reversed, as it usually does. Off market open, we had a manipulation leg, so we came down, kind of dumped, took out sell side liquidity. I believe we had, we had a bullish fair value gap here that we just swept into again and delivered from. You would have entered right here on the close over 23088. I had stop loss. Oh, sorry. No. Wait. Oh, this was the one that I wicked. I bottom wicked. This is the one that you could have entered right here at 23088. I just wasn't gonna wait for it on the 32nd and 15. I remember this was some chop down here, and I just got into a buy position. That was probably not good to do, but I did it because I'm pretty sure we had a bullish SMT here. NQ swept a little bit more of the sell side. It was delivering out of that bullish fair value gap, and then we had that swing low with the wick formation. So it was just so nice in hindsight. But what made me get in early was the stalling, was the wicking around on the 15 and 32nd after we had just gotten in here and come up. So we weren't going to come back down, take out that low is the logic. That's the thought. And that's hence why the stop loss was at that low. That's going to be the lowest low. Got in nice and early, so I didn't have to, accrue such a big 88 to 38, a 50-point stop loss, because that's quite large. You can't really take many contracts with that. All right, so that one's pretty simple. Any questions? Any questions on that trade? right. Next one was actually later that day, I believe. Good. Oh yeah, this guy. This was the 15-minute. This was taken on the 15. Let's go to the 15. September 2nd. Here. All right, so this one was another obvious trade to take. We also had, I believe, a bullish SMT. Yep. So this was the same bullish SMT held where, what was it? NQ took out more sell side. We still swept a lot of sell side for ES as well. And then we had an internal here, bullish SMT. So ES then took more of the sell side than NQ. This was ascending down here. That's a higher low than this low. And so that was inside the higher time frame bullish SMT with NQ sweeping more sell side. We had ES sweeping more sell side, lower time frame bullish SMT. Then we had this amazing close over candle formation, swing low. So that was kind of a no-brainer. And then there wasn't a gap until a little ways above. You could set that as your break even. And then just targeted the IRL buy side here. It kept going a bit more through this gap, but obviously you just want to be conservative. I stayed even below the 50% for that trade. That was still like a 278. So that's really nice. There was a re-entry as well. The retracement here still in discount on a lower time frame. This is still again the 15, but you could have gotten in, and then you could have used NQ if you wanted to have gotten in on the NQ side. It just wasn't what swept all of the sell side, so I chose ES for this particular trade. All right, that was it for Tuesday. Then Wednesday, no winning trades, took a couple losses. Thursday, the 4th, took a 125-point profit on NQ. This was the 11.3 RR. That was the break-even trade on September 3rd. And then here's the 4th. Here's the long on the 4th. This was taken on the 32nd. Okay, this guy. Now, let's look at what the heck happened here. So, market open. We actually did a lot of crazy shit for this market open. We came down, did a kind of like a Judas swing. We came down, up, and then ultimately down, but in a very choppy fashion. So we waited through all of this, and then right at around 10 a.m., here's 10 a.m., we started to get a little different, almost like a change in character. And then here, did I take this on the 32nd? Yeah, this one I bottom ticked as well. I didn't actually wait for a confirmed close over. This was because we have a bullish gap right here. Yeah, we were delivering out of this bullish gap right in here. Did we have an SMT? I don't think we did. Yeah, we did. We did. ES hadn't taken Asia low. NQ did take Asia low, so that was your SMT there. Little bullish SMT with NQ again, taking more of the sell side liquidity. The entry here, you could have gotten in and the close over this gap here, right here, instead of down here. Again, I got in early because of the SMT, because we were delivering from a bullish gap, and a little bit of stalling on the lower time frame. On the 1 minute, however, Also could have gotten in here and then stop loss, a close below. That would have been safe. And then if there was any other entry there. No, this one was pretty ugly. I mean, again, you could have taken the swing low 2-minute, close over here as well. And then the 3-minute, last one, no entry here. So yeah, best was probably 30-second or 2-minute. The 15 did not offer us really anything either. I mean, you could have gotten in here, but pretty weak price signature and candle formations for a 15-second long trade. Yeah, again, bullish SMT was formed with NQ sweeping more of that Asia low than ES, only doing the London low. And what did we have for targets? Yeah, for targets, just IRL buy side. This was going for the market open. Considered us dumping some more off of taking the buy side IRL, so just wanted to get right out at the top there. Any questions? I'm gonna keep going. That was Thursday, and then Friday we caught 148 points right before the weekend here. Not the best RR. It was almost 3, 2.96. So not the best, but still pretty good. We took this on the 5-minute. I believe took this on the 5. Yeah, I think I was waiting for a close under here, and then was going to take it, break even and first TP to this IRL sell side here, and then ultimately final TP. I was targeting Asia low because it was just below into discount. I figured if we're going to dump here, we had very, very bearish NFP news. I mean, if you remember from last week, that NFP, like they were expecting, where is it? They were expecting 75, went to 22. That was so bearish back last week. So that's what happened. People were trying to short. We had a manipulation leg. It took them out, pumped up, and then continued the dump where it really wanted to go. And so we took that, waited for a close under. It was a little more sketchy, hence why the big stop loss. I had to keep it up above this high. Thought price could maybe come back up, take that out. So much bigger. Samson. Yeah, so much bigger stop loss, but still got like 148 points there. So super green on the week, despite a few losses earlier in the week. Definitely took some losses on less volatile days, so going to keep that in mind going into this week. We do have some really good stuff. Just want to remind everyone at the beginning of class, we have CPI this Thursday. So like 1,000%, and tell your friends, tell everybody, get there by 8 a.m. Thursday, September 11th. That's when we're going to have that big data candle. CPI is the biggest news event of the month. And that's where we'll get like 100, 200 point candle. We can get a one setup for live play. You can even play the data candle itself and pass an eval account in one quick trade. Or you can copy trade and pass a bunch of eval accounts in one quick trade. I've done it. Samson's done it. Other people in Discord here have done it. Yeah. And I personally will probably take a live trade with that same method of how you do the eval accounts and just grab some extra cash, because I've done it before. It's pretty simple with the bracket orders. All right, so that's my winning trade. Samson, you want to do yours?
Yes, sir. Okay. Okay, so the first trade I took was yeah, okay. Yeah, the first trade I took was on Tuesday, so the day after Labor Day. Let's drop down to the 1 minute. Damn. Okay, so I yeah, it was definitely this one. So let's see. I'm gonna go into why I took this trade and kind of my thought process. So I think I started off this trade looking at the daily time frame. So we swept some sort of daily um we swept daily sell side, obviously on the daily time frame. And then also with that, we had a bullish SMT. I wonder if I bring up ES to no, it's not even a anyways, yeah, we had a bullish SMT. Um I think I entered this trade off the 3 minute. So we swept daily sell side. We formed a bullish SMT because ES didn't sweep this daily sell side. And I think off of that too, we took out pre-market lows. And yeah, this is the trade. I scaled onto the 3 minute. I entered off the 3 minute inverse fair value gap. And I waited for the change in the state. Mm, We pushed higher. I entered this trade at 23,128.50. Look at my executions. Kept stop at the low. 23,128.50. We also had a macro time, so we pushed up during that too. And I think also during macro we had a data candle. Levy, do we have a data candle? A data candle on this day? Was it red folder news? 'Cause
Which
I remember trailing on this trade.
which day is that?
This is Tuesday.
The second we had PMI 10 a.m.
Yeah. Okay, for sure. Yeah. So we entered before PMI, entered up the 3 minute close, inverse fair value gap, changing the state. We pushed up. We had macro, and I think during PMI, it was this wick right here, and I got stopped out in profit with the trailing stop loss. I don't remember exactly. I remember like trailing right here, so I think it was a little over a 1-to-1. We got the data candle. We formed a 1 minute imbalance, and I was trailing stop loss and got stopped out for a little over a 1-to-1. Yeah, so that was my trade for Tuesday. Let's go into the next trade. My second trade was on Wednesday. Levy, do you know how to do the replay for both at once, or
Is it not doing it together?
nah? It's not. That's fine. Anyways, so this was the trade I took Wednesday. We had a 10 a.m. reversal. Well, a little more than 10 a.m. reversal, but so this trade we were delivering from a 4-hour imbalance. Let me clean up my charts real quick. I initially took a loss during chop. I tried a long off this bullish SMT. It was like a 30-second inverse two. Got stopped out. Second trade I took was a short on the. I think this is the trade I entered off the 15-second. If you look at the trade recaps, I rarely take trades on the 15-second time frame. But when we have like stacked confluences like this, you're just gonna want to take it. So we tapped into a 4-hour imbalance. We swept two buy side levels on a higher time frame. Very, very close. We had this buy side level right here, and we also had another buy side right here. So we had a nice little turtle soup, and we also had a bearish SMT in which ES didn't sweep as high, but NQ did. So after we swept those highs and we tapped into a 4-hour imbalance, that's like 3 confluences stacked. Then we formed a 15-second inverse fair value gap. On a very low time frame, I don't like entering off the first fair value gap, so I need multiple um, more confirmations, especially on a lower time frame. So after we had the 15-second inverse right here, we came up, retested, closed bearish. We had a continuation confluence there. I entered off that. Off my entry, we got a bit of a pullback. I thought I was going to get stopped out at this high. Luckily, we decided to respect bearish order flow. We came down. We completely disrespected this gap. And after this, I knew we wanted to push lower. So I was still in this trade. After we broke this swing low, I moved stop loss to break even. So after this low was basically a risk-free trade. We closed bearish here on the 15. Stop loss to break even. And then we just dumped on the 15-second time frame. I got out with a trailing stop loss at 23,394.25. So the reason I got out trailing, especially very tightly, is due to the fact that this sell side level down here was swept on ES and not in Q. So now we have a bullish SMT, meaning there could be possible reversal. As you can see, this is where I got stopped out. I was trailing pretty tight. Got stopped out for a 1.49 to 1 RR. At 23,394.25. And look what happens off this bullish SMT. If I wasn't trailing, we would have completely reversed and hit my break even. That's why on SMTs, if an indice hits a high first and the other one doesn't, I typically would just manually exit the trade or trail incredibly tight, which in this situation I did. So yeah, if I didn't trail, would have got stopped out at break even. And that would have been very unfortunate. So yeah, so this trade was a 1.4 to 1 RR. And that was my second trade of the week, which was on Wednesday. So now let's go on to Thursday. Okay, I don't think I still have it saved from Thursday, so I gotta look at my executions. Let's see. So I took 2 trades this day. The first one I was in shorts actually. My bad. I'm looking for my entries. Okay, yeah. So this is the first trade I took on the 1 minute time frame. Yeah, so let me go down. Let me 1 minute. So we had pre-market highs, which is buy side liquidity right here. So we swept this high, which is pre-market. Let me see. Now high also swept Asia high. And so off that sweep, we formed a 1 minute inverse. And I enter off the 1 minute inverse fair value gap at 23,510.00. Yeah. So this is my entry right here. And I was targeting this swing low. And the reason I also was stop loss is up here actually. So the reason I was bearish in this situation is because we swept buy side liquidity. We already swept Asia high. We already swept London high pre-market. So I was looking for a reversal, and we got it. We had the 1 minute inverse fair value gap, which was confirmation. Entered off that. Again, I wasn't being greedy with this, with my profit target either. I was just targeting sell side because we also had London low below and Asia low too. So more bullish, more bearish conviction. So off that, we push lower. We come all the way down here to 23,462.00. I'm thinking, okay, sell side's about to get hit, TP's about to get hit. I'm all good. And luckily, my stop loss was at break even. And typically, when I have very high conviction in a buy side or sell side level getting hit, I don't like to trail because sometimes we like to retest bearish imbalances and close bearish. But unfortunately, in this situation, with my entry, we came down. We're about to hit TP, which is right here at 23,457.50. We fucking edged it. We reversed. We had a 1 minute inverse. We come all the way up. We hit my break even. I get stopped out the trade, unfortunately. We come down. We end up hitting my TP later. And then we also run Asia low. We also run London low and Asia low at the same time. So very unfortunate. That was the first trade. I actually re-entered on this trade too, but I did it on some evals. I did not take this on live. The first trade was on lives, was a live account. The second trade was on evals. So We retested this 1 minute imbalance. And I was just trying to pass some evals. So I entered right here. And I took a very, very short scalp. I wasn't really calculating RR, but it was like it was a 1.21 to 1 RR because I was targeting this internal range low. So let me scale down to the. Oh no, my bad. I entered like right here. Not. It's execution. Sorry here. Okay. So I entered up the close of this candle after 30-second inverse. Stop loss at this high. TP at this swing low right here for a 1.1 to 1 RR. We came up, retested a 1 minute. I still had bearish conviction because we had London low, Asia low, took this on evals. Would never take this trade on a live account, especially in such chop. But caught a 1-to-1, past 350Ks. So that was my second trade of the day. But my third trade I took on live again too. We go back. Okay, yeah. So this is the third trade I took. I entered this trade. I think it was off the 5 minute. So we had now after we swept Asia low, we swept London low, we took out internal range sell side. Now this is where I was looking for the reversal. We had a 5 minute inverse. I think Levy, you bottom tick this, right?
Yeah, pretty sure.
Yeah, this is the trade Levy bottom ticked. I entered off the 5 minute inverse. We got the close above here. I scaled down to the 1 minute. We had the change in the state. And I decided to enter long here. Kept stop loss at this low. And I think I ended up trailing stop around here too. And this trade was actually a negative RR because I got out the trade early. We formed a bearish SMT, I think it's right here. Yeah, it was. We formed a bearish SMT right here. I trailed stop at this 1 minute imbalance. And I got stopped out at 23,518.00. So I got stopped out for a 0.8 to 1 RR. So this was a negative RR trade. We did end up hitting full TP, which is the buy side level at 23,548.00. But I got out early because we formed a bearish SMT. So, and that was my last trade of the week. So, yeah. Does anyone have any questions? Love you.
What's up?
Just wondering, is there anything else we should cover?
Oh, well, yeah, I think we should. Any questions that people have, struggles from last week, lost trades, losing trades? I don't want to go over anything heavy that's like really new and technical because we only have literally 3 people. I want to put a post out for tomorrow night's class where we'll have a quiz and maybe some other new stuff. We can talk about just order flow, any type of change of character, break of structure stuff. But I think most people understand fair value gaps, the inverse, the 8+ setup, one setup for life. That's going to be for CPI Thursday morning. That'll come. It's just about patience, discipline, and psychology. So if anyone ever needs help with that stuff too, the psychology, definitely, speak up, reach out to either of us. But yeah, not a whole lot to go over today as far as new stuff. Let me see real quick. Yeah, we'll have like a 15-question Kahoot again, an interactive quiz for tomorrow. Really testing your knowledge on it. Is this an A+ setup? Is the bias bullish or bearish? Just those type of questions, just to help gear your heads towards understanding liquidity and where the draw on liquidity is. So all that good stuff. But again, any other questions tonight? There haven't been any. I already just posted today 2 videos. Very beginner class on just futures, candles. What are you looking at here? That's on YouTube and in the class recording section. And then I did A+ setup, OSFL one setup for life video today, also on YouTube and in the class recordings. So if you're someone super new and you've already looked at the ICT, Learn ICT channel, and you understand the terms and you've got the psychology, now you probably want to check that out. The beginner class. Isn't a question, but psychology part is definitely important to me, honestly, because I haven't thought about putting my brain into the charts. I'm just so why I should tell the truth. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Everything makes sense so far, though. There's no further questions for tonight as to why I took the trades I did. Confluence is used. The confluences will always be, the main simple ones that if we're going long, we're in discount, we're below the 50% of the daily range. If we're going short, we're in premium. We're in the buy side of the daily range. So that's one of the biggest ones. Be on the right side of the curve. So longing and discount. Another good rule of thumb for new traders is to only be trading during the New York AM session, 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. Your next best is probably Asia, and then London, and then PM, to be candid with you, to be quite honest. I think PM is some of the worst price action. Only if you get really bad AM price action can you get, and if we're really building like LRLR, low resistance liquidity run, we're just stacking lower lows and lower highs to a sell side direction all morning, then you can see a reversal, some type of change distribution to occur in the PM. How to identify an order block? I'm still having trouble with that. Oh, that's easy. Let's go over that super quick. Yeah, so order blocks a 3-candle formation. So right here, as we're progressing up, and this was during PM, tonight, hours ago, a couple hours. You can see we're going up. Right here is an order block, 3 candle formation. So you have green, red, green. The confirmation is when the third candle, in this case, the green candle, closes over the open of the middle red candle. So you can see how we were down here, green candle, red candle, and then green candle went through it. The red candle would typically want to come down further, actually try to take out more people. You can see how it did do that, though. People who longed here were taken out. Price came down and took that out. And then it was confirmed with the close over that. There was another order block, green, red, green, back to back. That's a propulsion block. That usually sends price further in that direction, so further bullish up here. Okay. Another example of an order block. You just see it on different time frames. Right here, this is an order block on the way up. We had our green candle, red, red. You can stack the reds and then green. As long as the candles are the same color connecting, you can connect those candles. So if it takes 2 green candles to close over, that's fine. That's part of the order block. Okay, so again, just think of it as a sandwich, you know, bread, peanut butter bread, and that final candle is closing over the middle candle, the open of the middle candle. Other confluences, real quick, are geez. Let's see here. Other confluences are having equal highs or lows as the target. You know, so before you get in the trade, having a target to get out, a clear target, is, in my opinion, a confluence of its own, because exiting the trade is just as, if not more important than getting into the trade itself. So that's definitely a confluence. You want a clean fair value gap getting inversed by the other fair value gap, not, you know, stepping candles. Just a nice swing low 3 candle formation is, I would say, in itself like a very nice confluence for the reversal, rather than having, you know, more choppy or less momentum on the play. So yeah, singular fair value gap, the premium discount. Other top tier, more rare confluences that I will always like to add to a trade, and sometimes double down, have both, are the SMT. So if you're going for a long, you have a bullish SMT where ES, for example, sweeps more sell side. It takes out more, you know, discount price. It comes down further, which is exactly what price did here. You can see how that sell side, that same sell side on NQ, wasn't taken. See that? It was here on ES. So that's your bullish SMT. That's a confluence. And then the delivery, having that reversal happen with a delivery of another fair value gap. So price wicked down and came into this bullish gap and delivered. That is a confluence in itself. Further adding to that single confluence of the delivery from the bullish fair value gap would be it being a swing low and then it being a protected low. So a swing low that takes out another swing low in that same fair value gap. Then you have a protected low, and that's a very strong confluence. That with an SMT, holy shit, you're cooking with gas. It's going to be such a good trade. Minimum break even trade. Yeah. Those 5, 6 confluence trades, you can always go full size. You can't see my screen. God damn it. Not that I was showing much, but Here, like this was ES sweeping sell side. I think you can see it now. So yeah, that was the bullish SMT sweeping sell side. Any other questions? Or we can just end early. Sunday night. We'll get up early for Monday, crush some trades, and then we're gonna have a quiz tomorrow again. Quiz tomorrow night. So pretty chill. All right. I guess that's it. We'll call it. We'll call it. Samson, great work tonight. Thank you again for your help.
You too, Levy. Amazing
you, bro.
class, bro.
Let's finish up the quiz tomorrow, and let's have a quick sync up call tomorrow. I want to talk about some other cool stuff. And that's it. Yeah. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. I wish some other people stuck through. I guess we'll have to gear it more technical, more advanced for other people. You know, sometimes people think they just, not that they know it all, but just that they're ready and they don't need any more. Sometimes it's too much noise, just learning and learning, and they just want to do it. So just come to live tomorrow by 9 a.m. I'll be live by 8, and we will rock and roll. I don't think we have any financial news really tomorrow. No, we don't have shit, but that's okay. We can find something. I'll keep my eye on everything, and of course, I'll comment in the index commentary and make sure that we are making money together. Only thing I can ask of you guys, Dolphin, Blake, is as time goes on, you know, you're taking profitable trades, posting profits, maybe write a testimonial, but definitely, you know, post your stuff on Instagram or whatever. Tell your friends, share a link, ask for an invite link or whatever. We got to get more and more people in here. We're at 275 now. You know, it was just 250 like last weekend, which is pretty crazy. So just keeps going up through word of mouth. And yeah, one day we'll hit 500, then 1,000, and you know, who knows? Who knows where we'll go? But I appreciate you guys being the innovators, the early adopters, getting in here early, believing in us, and yeah, just being patient. You know, we're kind of just learning as we go with the Discord stuff, not with the trading. Yeah, so cool. I can't see. Sweet. Awesome. All right, we will end it. Have a good night, everybody.